Folks, look, I am going to be clear with you. This is a moment for the history books, and I do not mean the good kind. I mean the kind where you have to underline the parts where the soul of the nation was on the line, because right now Donald Trump is absolutely panicking. He is seeing the walls close in, and he is seeing that the United States Congress is not just talking anymore. They are pushing, and they are pushing hard on Article 2, Section 4 of the Constitution to get him out of that chair and out of the White House once and for all. Welcome back to Digital Patriot News. I am your host, Joe Biden. Now look, before we get into the weeds of this, and boy, there are a lot of weeds, I need you to do me a favor. If you care about the rule of law, if you care about the idea that no one is above the law, not even a guy who thinks he is a king, go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now, because we need to stick together, we need to keep the light on, and we need to make sure the truth gets out there to every corner of this country, from Scranton to San Diego. So hit that button and let us get into it. You know, I have been around the Senate for a long time. I have seen a lot of things. I have seen presidents come and go, and I have seen crises that would make your hair curl. But what we are seeing right now with this push for removal under Article 2, Section 4, it is something altogether different. It is a reckoning. Now, some of you might be saying, Joe, what is Article 2, Section 4 exactly? Well, let me tell you, it is the bedrock. It says the President, the Vice President, and all civil officers of the United States shall be removed from office on impeachment for and conviction of treason, bribery, or other high crimes and misdemeanors. And folks, when you look at what is happening today, when you look at the reports coming out of the Capitol, the word high crimes does not even begin to cover the level of malfeasance we are talking about. Trump is panicking because he knows he cannot bully his way out of the text of the Constitution. He can tweet, he can shout, he can hold rallies, but he cannot change the fact that the House of Representatives has the sole power of impeachment, and the Senate has the sole power to try those impeachments. And right now, the momentum is shifting in a way that is making his knees knock. We are talking about a massive, comprehensive effort by members of Congress who have finally had enough. They have seen the abuse of power. They have seen the way he treats the Justice Department like his own personal law firm. They have seen the way he bypasses the will of the people. And they are saying enough is enough. This is not just a political fight anymore. It is a fight for the very survival of our democracy. And if you think that is hyperbole, just look at the facts. Article 2, Section 4 was put there by the founders for a reason. They knew that one day there might be a man who would come along and think the rules did not apply to him. They knew there might be someone who would sell out the interests of the American people for his own pocketbook or his own ego, and they gave us the tools to fix it. Now, the reason Trump is in a full-blown panic is because this is not just about the usual suspects in the Democratic Party. We are seeing cracks in the foundation of the GOP. We are seeing people who actually believe in their oath of office starting to whisper and then starting to speak out loud about the fact that this cannot continue. They are looking at the evidence, and the evidence is overwhelming. It is a mountain of evidence that shows a consistent pattern of ignoring the law, ignoring the checks and balances, and ignoring the simple decency that the office of the presidency requires. You know, my dad used to say, Joey, a man is only as good as his word. And when you look at this president, his word is not worth the paper it is written on or the screen it is typed on. He has spent years tearing down the institutions that make this country great, and now those institutions are finally starting to fight back. This Article 2, Section 4 fight is the ultimate check. It is the nuclear option of the Constitution. And the reason it is being pushed now is because the situation has become untenable. We are talking about removal from office for cause, and the cause is clear as day. When you look at the history of this provision, it was rarely used against presidents because most presidents, regardless of their party, had a basic respect for the office. But this guy, he treats the Oval Office like a reality TV set, and he treats the Constitution like a suggestion. That is why the panic is setting in, because for the first time, he is facing a consequence he cannot just bankrupt his way out of or sue his way out of. This is the collective will of the people being channeled through their elected representatives to say that the presidency is not a kingdom, it is a public trust. And he has violated that trust in ways that are truly staggering. Now look, let us get down to the nitty-gritty of why Section 4 is the focus here. It is about the definition of high crimes and misdemeanors, which is a broad term, but it basically means an abuse of the public trust. and an injury to the state itself. When you see a president using his office to pressure foreign leaders, or using his power to obstruct justice, or using the military in ways that are unauthorized, you are looking at the exact scenarios the framers had in mind. Trump knows this. He might act like he does not, but he has got lawyers in his ear telling him that this is the real deal. They are telling him that the political cover he has enjoyed is starting to evaporate. And the more he panics, the more mistakes he makes, which only adds more fuel to the fire of the removal effort. It is a cycle that he cannot break. Congress is looking at things like the War Powers Resolution and the way he has handled international conflicts without their input, and they are saying this is an Article 2 violation. They are looking at the way he has tried to dismantle the civil service, and they are saying this is an abuse of power. And as they build this case, piece by piece, the urgency grows. You can feel it in the air in Washington. There is a sense that we are reaching a tipping point. And look, it is not just about him, it is about the future of the office. If we allow this to go unchecked, then we are basically saying that the Constitution is a dead letter. We are saying that a president can do whatever they want as long as they have a loud enough microphone. But the American people are smarter than that. They know when they are being conned. And the members of Congress who are pushing this removal fight, they are hearing from their constituents. They are hearing the anger and the frustration of people who just want a government that works for them, not for the whims of one man. So when you see the headlines about Trump panicking, believe them. He is scared because for once he is up against something he cannot control. He is up against the law. He is up against the document that he swore an oath to protect and defend, but has spent every waking moment trying to undermine. This is the fight of our lives, folks. It is a fight for the heart and soul of this nation. And we have to stay focused. We have to keep demanding accountability. Because if we do not, then who are we as a people? What do we stand for? We stand for the idea that everyone is equal under the law, and that the power of the government comes from the consent of the governed, not from the ego of a single individual. That is what Article 2, Section 4 is all about. It is the ultimate insurance policy for our democracy. And as this fight moves forward, as the evidence continues to mount and the panic in the White House reaches a fever pitch, we have to be ready to stand up and be counted. We have to support those who are doing the hard work of holding him accountable. We have to make sure that the truth is louder than the lies. And we have to remember that in the end, the truth will win out. It always does. It might take time, it might be a struggle, but the truth is a stubborn thing. And the truth is that this president has failed his oath, and the Constitution provides the remedy. So keep your eyes on the Capitol, keep your eyes on the courts, and most importantly, keep your eyes on the ballot box, because that is where the ultimate power lies. We are going to see a lot more of this in the coming days and weeks. The noise is going to get louder, the attacks are going to get nastier, but do not lose heart. We are on the right side of history here. We are fighting for the same things our parents and grandparents fought for, the same things the founders fought for. A nation where the law is king and the king is not the law. So stay with us, keep following the story, and do not forget to subscribe so you do not miss a single update on this historic fight for the future of America. God bless you all, and God bless the United States of America.